Damn. That could have been the local brew. But it isn't. It's a fake. It's Hasselnut. Hello, Doan. Ashback. Aceback. I need to respect your name here. And Doan. Windblown. Welcome, guys. Today, I have done a little PC build, which I'm gonna share in chat with the help of Aceback. We are almost done, I guess, picking out all of the parts. Let's see if I can find the link. Aceback, where do we have it? Is that the one? Let's try this. Dude, where's my Mario Kart? God damn it. There you go. Okay. That looks right. We were talking about a different PSU. But this is a good start for now. We'll see when we get to actually, purchasing the parts and whatnot. But that's what we have. The 4080 GPU is a placeholder. I don't think I'll be able to get one in the near future. We'll have to wait. So my plan is to use the 1080 from this PC in this new build until I get, the 4080 or something around those numbers. And then we, make it a streaming PC. But yeah, I am pretty excited about this. Quite honestly. It's gonna be super nice. I just have to go with one PC for a while. A 3080? I don't think it's worth it. I'm thinking future, like very future-proof. So I'd rather wait. I could wait a year, I could go with this new build, but with a 1080 card for a year. So I can get the 4080 for a more reasonable price. Maybe Opus can help me out in some way. So I'd rather go... Oh yeah. I heard that cooler was very good, so... Talked to Aceback about it, we looked up some reviews and stuff, and it just looks very good. But I have decided that the next GPU will be in the 4000 series. I'll just have to wait. It might be a 4070. Maybe they'll scale down the price. Maybe they'll learn from their mistake. I don't think they will, though. Because I've heard that 4080 is like sold out everywhere. So it doesn't matter that it's overpriced. People are still gonna buy it. So there's no way the 4070 is gonna be, more price-worthy. However you say that in English. It sucks. It really does. Yeah. The 4080 would cost more than half of this build, if not more. It's crazy how expensive it is. But yeah, I'll wait. Another thing about the future-proofing and why I want to go with the 4000 card is that I'm planning to have a VR setup in the future. And most definitely the 4080 or 70 are going to be much better with the VR than a 3080, for example. So I'll just wait and enjoy all of the other parts in the meantime. Faster RAM, latest Intel. Super modern motherboard as well, Z790. PCIe 4.0 M2. Temp shop, let's go. But yeah, I'm excited. We'll see how we go throughout the week. But today, I felt like streaming something a little bit more chill. Because we've had a bunch of action games recently. So how about... Okay, Tem, you need to shut up. I'm sorry. There we go. So you guys and me, and from the looks of it, Shantae, We're gonna play the first strand type game. Dear Esther. We can start from the beginning. I mean here. I did a quick test to make sure everything is running. But yeah, this game, don't have that much to say about it because I've never played it. I only heard about it when it came out. It's like 10 years ago. It's like the 10th anniversary of this game. It's crazy. And people were talking about it a lot, mostly in a negative point of view, like, wow, it's a walking simulator. So I think this is the game that put walking simulators on the map. Right? It's one of those big topics back when this came out, and then we had a bunch more walking simulators. And I've played a bunch of them, and I really do enjoy walking simulator if they're done right. My favorite example would be What Remains of Edith Finch. That is a masterpiece. I love it so much. And then games like Year Walk. There's even walk in the title. So yeah, I always had this game on my backlog and I felt like playing something chill today, so here we are. Oh, you played it 10 years ago? Holy shit. 18,000 to 20 Norwegian. I don't know the exact difference exchange wise, but it's somewhere around that number as well here, like 18,000 crowns, or SEK. Do you say that? SEK. But in any case, let us jump into Dear Esther.
Dear Esther, I've lost track of how long I've been here and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I have always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
Alright. Holy fuck, this is super smooth. What is this, 120? Oh yeah, that is 120 FPS. That's what my NVIDIA control panel is set to, FPS limit. Maybe the FOV is a little bit too strong. Around here should be good. So as always, when it comes to playing something on PC, I go to PC Gaming Wiki. Highly recommend. And this game, among many others, will benefit greatly from using window exclusive mode, which you can use with Steam very easily. My first test was without it and was kind of choppy. I think it was borderless full screen 60 FPS, but now it's exclusive full screen at 120 it seems, and then we're streaming at 60. Looks fantastic. Yeah, that was a little bit too much. But did the game actually look like this 10 years ago? Because it's the Landmark edition, and I have no idea what the difference is. But wow. And this is an indie game from 2012. What the? Damn. Wait, isn't there VR? This game would have worked perfectly with VR. So, yeah, the only thing I know about this game is that it's a walking simulator. But story-wise, nothing at all. Holy shit, you know. After playing so many games at around 60 and below 30, you know, oh, hello. Can we even go here? Bayonetta 3 and Mario & Rabbids, both being unstable.
Donnelly reported the legend of the Hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
I wish you could have the text up for a little bit longer. Oh. But yeah, as I was saying, it's beautiful. Oh, what is with this crack? Okay. Go into a 120 FPS game. It could go, of course, even higher. This monitor goes up to 165. But unfortunately, that doesn't work that well with streaming. You should get a 180 Hz monitor. That's not a common hertz, is it? Feels like it goes from 144 to 240. I mean, that would be pretty nice as well, but 180 would be a very nice sweet spot, so you can stream and play at that frame rate.
There was talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses. The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand. They clearly never came here to experience the becalming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence.
Let me see here. I believe the 4080 has display port 1.4 something, right? So at max it can support, let's see here, I'm just going from memory, 2K at 240?
Donnelly's book had
or
not been
4K
taken
at
out from the library
120?
since 1974.
No?
I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under
Why
my
would
coat and
one,
avoided the
fuck,
librarians.
shit, 180 be good for streaming? It's the same equivalent as Ocarina of Time, running at 20 FPS in a 60 Hz container. The streaming should work the same way.
Gaze on the way out.
Hello, Champy.
If
Welcome.
the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man.
I thought I went the wrong way first by going up there. I'm trying to see if the game has collectibles. I don't think it does.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this. To keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Yeah, it does look choppy because it's 20, but frame time graph-wise, it's completely solid. You know, how many milliseconds per frame? You want that line to be completely flat. And Ocarina of Time, even though it's 20, it still has perfect frame time. And so I would just assume that playing something at 180 and streaming at 60 should do the same frame time wise. Although I'm not completely
They were
sure.
God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation.
It's hard to read and walk
by
at the same
a visiting
time.
monk in 1776, 2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradictions?
This guy lost me 2 sentences ago. Maybe because we're talking about frame time and shit. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But back to my question, are there any 180 Hz monitors? I'm thinking no. But why do we have 165? Like this one, 2K 165 Hz. I'm guessing it has something to do with the limitations of the DisplayPort. Different versions of DisplayPort, 1.2 maybe, 1.3. I need all of those graphs in front of me. I don't know them by heart. There are. Damn. But yeah, 240 would be perfect. Because it's correctly dividable with, movie frame
Dear
rate.
Esther, I met Paul.
Video games.
I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Paul. Local brew. All over the place. Pirated stream? Is it though? Well, there's rumble when you fall down. But yeah, I remember back when I had my, very normal 60 Hz monitor, 1080p. And I was watching anime, and I didn't know better. But, looking back at it, it was pretty bad in terms of frame time because you get 3:2 pull down, whatever it's called. So you get the choppy frames whenever there's a panning, or just the frame time is wrong. And then when I upgraded to my first 1080p 120 Hz monitor, without knowing the exact numbers and how everything worked, anime looked so much more smooth. Because 24 Hz at 120 Hz container gives a perfect frame time. That's why I'm also very happy to have the LG OLED C1 in the living room, because that is a 120 Hz TV. And so movies and anime have perfect frame time. It's beautiful.
In this interim space between cliff and beach, I would leave you loaves and fishes, but the fish stocks have been depleted and I've run out of bread. I would row you back to your homeland in a bottomless boat, but I fear we would both be driven mad by the chatter of the sea creatures.
The B165? Hell yeah. Dude, OLED is so beautiful. Especially for, cartoons and anime when there's a lot of stark contrasts in colors. Like in some animes when, they have internal monologues and the background is completely black. It's so beautiful. It's perfect darkness. And what we're talking about here, OLED and frame time, these are things that it's hard to explain for someone who hasn't experienced it. Like, you have to see it for yourself, and you have to see the comparisons to really know the difference. It's kind of like, as soon as you know it, there's no going back. As soon as I learned about resolution and frame rate and all of these things and the different panel types, TN, OLED, VA, like, once you learn about this stuff, it's so tough to not see it anymore. And that is a blessing and a curse. A blessing now is like, in a game like this, where it's 120 G-Sync at 165 Hz, it's just so beautiful. The input lag is pretty much non-existent. The frame time is perfect. It's all wonderful. But then you go ahead and you play a game like Bayonetta 3, and it's like 40 FPS during battles, and there's no G-Sync, there's no frame rate limiter, and it makes you cry. It does. I think it does for me. I wish I could go back to my blissful ignorance. No, I'm just kidding. I thought this was a Narokath stream, but you are Narokath Colin. Who the fuck is Colin? The underscore took over the stream. No! Hello, Fancy. How are you feeling today? Fish! Bread! Wait, is this in the source engine? That does explain all of the... and the lack of rounded objects. Did you see Sakurai's Smash Bros. Melee video? I have not seen his latest 3 videos, I think. I will have to take a look at it. Was it good? Oh yeah, it's beautiful. G-Sync gives you the best of both worlds, because with V-Sync, sure, you get perfect frame time graph, but you have increased latency. And without it, you have screen tearing, but less input latency. G-Sync says, fuck that, dude. Here is a world with no screen tearing and very, very low input lag. Enjoy. And I am enjoying. Every time a game offers that, of course. Not every game works with it. How did this become such a nerdy technical talk stream? I love it. A video about his cat. Yeah, I think I saw that thumbnail. And that's the same cat as in the Pokemon Stadium stage, isn't it? When you look, oh goddamn, I'm playing video games right now, good sir. How do you like the inspiration for Death Stranding, Fancy?
He still maintains he wasn't drunk, but tired. I can't make the judgment or the distinction anymore. I was drunk when I landed here, and tired too. I walked up the cliff path in near darkness and camped in the bay where the trawler lies beached. It was only at dawn that I saw the bothy and decided to make my temporary lodgings there. I was expecting just the aerial and a transmitter stashed in a weatherproof box somewhere on the mount. It had an air of uneasy permanence to it. Like all the other buildings here, erosion seems to have evaded it completely.
It's a goddamn ghost story, isn't it? Oh yeah. I like how the game looks for its time. Didn't it come out to like Xbox 360, PS3 as well? I wonder how it ran there. Man, this is the ultimate coffee drinking game. This is basically my stream break. That's respectable of you, Fancy. Oh, I saw that.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome break services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Big hype. Woo! the most exciting game there is. And next to Quackers, of course. I mean, I wouldn't stoop so low. No! My Zelda poster is about to fall off. Oh, it couldn't take it. I think that's a given. I was thinking if we were gonna end this year with, you know, the final Shantae game. But maybe we'll end the year with Quackers, just because. Because we're going into Co-op 2.0 now. We talked about Co-op for like 10 years. And then I streamed it, and it's like nothing ever happened.
It's only at night that this place makes any sluggish effort at life. You can see the boy and the aerial. I've been taking to sleeping through the day in an attempt to resurrect myself. I can feel the last days drawing upon me. There's little point now in continuation. There must be something new to find here. Some nook or some cranny that offers a perspective worth clinging to. I've burnt my bridges. I've sunk my boats and watched them go to water.
It could actually take you like one stream if you're good. 3 or 4 hours. Okay, so we're looking at 7 hours minimum. Sounds good. I mean, you saw the Shantae stream. I ain't beating around any bush. Man, I love... If it is the Source engine, I'm just guessing. But look at this. It's so cute. It's trying so hard to be round, but it can't. Oh. Okay. I have to say the sound design is great. I'm glad I'm playing it with headphones, although I don't have much of a choice with this setup. But really, it sounds good. Imagine 50 years from now, VR setups, walking simulators.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
I already know what game I'm gonna play first when I get a VR headset. No one knows. Mm-hmm.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
So this whole game... Never mind. I was... Okay, fuck. Why do we have to talk about kidney stones? God fucking damn it. Knowing me, uh-huh. Have we gone that far? Has this stream stooped down into, you know, the big weeb staple? Like... I'm not playing something weeby right now. There's nothing on this stream that says weeb. Nothing. So defensive. Sus. No, but the headset, I don't know. I'm still waiting to see future releases and announcements. But that's not my fault. I'm in the clear here. Yeah, I didn't say weeb. Welcome, Sona. Hate weebs or love weebs or weeby things. Everyone is still welcome here because this is safe space.
It is a straight line to the summit, where the evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence. The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore.
But in the front row? No. No. This ain't right. You need to focus on your studies, my dear friend. But if you want to try something interesting, it's a social experiment. Cast the stream to the classroom's projector and max that sound out. And then we'll have someone in the chat redeem an anime opening. That will get things going.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work.
No?
He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
This stream should never ever be played in a public place. And it's nothing I can control. Chat is just fucking crazy. I'm trying to escape into my inner solitude here on this island. Enjoy the music and the scenery. But all I see is Poggiest. Everywhere.
3 cormorants seen at dusk. They did not land. This house built of stone, built by a long-dead shepherd. Contents: my camp bed, a stove, a table, chairs, my clothes, my books. The caves that score out the belly of this island, leaving it famished. My limbs and belly famished. This skin, these organs, this failing eyesight. When the battery runs out in my torch, I will descend into the caves and follow only the phosphorescence home.
Why does it feel like this game is speaking to me? Oh, that's nice.
Okay, I'll do it anyway. Poggiest, 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 poggiest.
Don't you see the contrast here, Fancy?
Poggiest, 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 poggiest.
We're trying to have an emotional
Poggiest, 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 poggiest.
voyage.
Poggiest,
No!
Poggiest, 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 poggiest,
What the fuck?
Poggiest, 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 poggiest,
He couldn't take it anymore.
Poggiest, 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 poggiest,
scrambling his organs like eggs on a plate.
Damn.
But enough definition remained for a cursory examination, and, as I suspected, they found clear evidence of kidney stones.
Can we stop talking about it?
He's likely to have spent the last years of his life in considerable pain. Perhaps this is the root of his laudanum habit. Although its use makes him an unreliable witness, I find myself increasingly drawn into his orbit.
This entire game takes place on a giant kidney stone. This entire fucking island. I don't know. I just break every single game I'm playing. I know what you're thinking, Don. You're thinking, yeah, this is good, but you need at least 3 times more emotes. Those are rookie numbers. Did you guys know that this used to be a gacha stream? And I was the only one who... No, I mean... I meant more emotes. Like different, unique emotes. You know me. Every booba is special. Safe space. Oh yeah. What happened? It never was safe space. It went from super... It went from...
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose.
And we calm ourselves down. This stream is in a classroom playing right now.
The phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
Can I join you in that? That sounds good. There is nothing in this game that warrants weeb booba spam. Nothing. And Fancy, you asked me if I had a problem when I brought up something.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the Bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
I don't know, Champy, if it is horror. It certainly makes me feel uncomfortable. I'll give it that much. Well, down we go. Nice. Well, oh.
Did Jakobsen crawl this far? Can I identify the scratches his nails ruined into the rocks? Am I following him cell for cell, inch for inch? Why did he turn back on himself and not carry through to the ascent?
This is nice. You know, it is a little bit distracting to play this game. And at the very right of my monitor, it's like 75 booba emotes constantly playing. I am only a man, and I need chat to be clean. I need to focus on this game. Help a Crims man out, will you? What is this? No. Where is Windblown when you need him?
They'd stop the traffic back as far as the Sandford Junction and come up the hard shoulder like radio signals from another star. It took 21 minutes for them to arrive. I watched Paul time it to the second on his watch.
Feels like the entire cave is reflecting, you know, the feeling of pain in a way, with all these sharp edges and. Damn. That's beautiful. Thank you, Fancy. Damn, look at the ceiling. You know, seeing this in 120. Oh. It does not look like a 10-year-old game. But where are the footsteps? Oh yeah, another one of my favorite walking simulator games is the Beginner's Guide, which I've streamed. I like that one a lot. God damn. Oh, this is the way forward. But this game is DirectX 9? 10? It shouldn't be that hard to make it VR compatible. I need to do research after the stream. This might be one of those games where we could have played it in full screen mode. Wait, do I have... Let's see if I have the cam enabled for that. What do you mean no signal? Stop it. Oh, it's not activated. But in any case, we don't even have cam. Okay.
I'm traversing my own death throes. The infection in my leg is an oil rig that dredges black muck up from deep inside my bones. I swallow fistfuls of diazepam and paracetamol to stay conscious. The pain flows through me like an underground sea.
Man, I had no idea this would be the game's narrative. I thought it was like a tragic, yeah, I mean, it kind of is a loss story. But with the details of, yeah, health issues, it's not very fun. You know, I'm beginning to think more and more that the game's world is not substitute. What's the word I'm looking for? For his yeah, medical situation.
This cannot be the shaft they threw the goats into. It cannot be the landfill where the parts of your life that would not burn ended up. It cannot be the chimney that delivered you to the skies. It cannot be the place where you rained back down again to fertilize the soil and make small flowers in the rocks.
Like we're inside organs right now. No, every single button does the same thing. Except the stick clicks. Oh, you can play with D-pad. Let's go. Is there a breath timer? Probably not. That's cool. Uh-huh. Is that money? Okay. A bunch of coins. Wait, is that Toad with the banjo in Mario Party 2? I didn't even know we had him. Uh-huh. It's not very seamless, is it?
I sat here and watched two jets carve parallel white lines into the sky. They charted their course, and I followed them for 21 minutes until they turned off near Samford and were lost. If I were a gull, I would abandon my nest and join them. I would starve my brain of oxygen and suffer delusions of transcendence. I would tear the bottom from my boat and sail across the motorways until I reached this island once again.
Hello.
Dear Esther, I find each step harder and heavier. I drag Donnelly's corpse on my back across these rocks, and all I hear are his whispers of guilt, his reminders, his burnt letters, his neatly folded clothes. He tells me I was not drunk at all.
Well, I thought it was a human, but it's like a stop sign? No? I don't know. What is this texture? Wow, that was good.
There were chemical stains on the tarmac, the leak of air conditioning, brake fluid and petrol. He kept sniffing at his fingers as he sat by the roadside, waiting as if he couldn't quite understand or recognize their smell. He said he'd been traveling back from a sales conference in Exeter. He'd stopped for farewell drinks earlier, but had kept a careful eye on his intake. You could hear the sirens above the idling traffic. From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic. And I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Yeah, they didn't get very far, did they? 2004. Well, that hand style.
The pain in my leg sent me blind for a few minutes as I struggled up the cliff path. I swallowed another handful of painkillers, and now I feel almost lucid. The island around me has retreated to a hazed distance, whilst the moon appears to have descended into my palm to guide me. I can see a thick black line of infection reaching for my heart from the waistband of my trousers. Through the fugue, it's all the world like the path I have cut from the lowlands towards the aerial.
No, it wasn't. It's a human.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Amen. I just love how it looks on the stream now. Like if someone clicks on the stream and the entire left side is just that. What happened here?
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Yeah, I called it. I knew it. It's all symbolic.
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sandford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
And there are 21 weeb motes on my channel. I will not have it. No, I was commenting on that, Doan. Chat stopped at the worst possible time. I was like, no, we can't have this. If someone clicks on the stream now, I'm just walking around in this game, and the left side is just weeb. What to do? What to do? Oh! If that be true. Unstable cliff edge. Unfenced cliff ahead. Keep away from I can't read that. Edge, I guess. Keep away from edge. But yeah, that's a nice detail. We can hear the... Wait, what is this thing called? I forgot what this thing is called. It's not a railing, right? It's This is a railing. Is it still called a fence? A grading fence? I think the game is visually great for its time. Audio and music too.
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the caged traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus, Paul sat at the roadside hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull, as useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goat herd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sandford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther, he was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
Uh-huh. Man, this reminds me a little bit too much of where I used to live in Gothenburg. I live very close to this, I guess you could call it a mountain top. Not super high, but still. You had to walk, yeah, pretty much the same height as we climb now with the stairs. So it's very similar. There was a radio tower and everything. And there was one evening during winter, so no, it was...
Ariel, in my passing, I will send news to each and every star.
It was, you know, super dark already at around 6 p.m. where I usually took my walks. And I went up to that radio tower and it was very similar weather condition. So it kind of almost it brings me back to it. Oh.
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an Ariel, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
People said. Can I look to the right? No. The game is already over? 1 hour? He gained the power of flight. Hmm? Fuck. What's with the disharmony? Oh yeah. We birb now. Burb.
Come back.
Okay. That caught me by surprise. The first text there. The Chinese room. Wait, what? Chinese. Oh well. What do you have to say about that one? What did you think about this game, Doan? It was the Source Engine. I called it. Hmm? Yeah, the game didn't overstay its welcome at all. Yeah, I agree. I just remember so many people talking about the game and complaining like, oh, it shouldn't even be considered a game because you just walk. And some people define video games as where you can win and lose. Technically, you can lose in this game if you fall down and die prematurely. That is technically a death, and you go back. Ultimate FPS. What the fuck? Wait, it's made with... Oh, so this Landmark edition is made with Unity. Hmm. Okay. Wow. I didn't, What the fuck? Wait, what does resume do now? I didn't expect a 1 hour long game. I need to jump into my next game. We have barely started the stream. But yeah, quickly. How much did this game cost? $10? I think it was. Yeah, roughly $10. Without sale. Or maybe it was more when it came out. I need to look that up.
The moon over the...
Yeah. Let me see. Am I allowed to alt-tab? I am. Can we do this? No, we cannot. Okay. What can we play? Yearwalk music in the meantime. Let's see here. Dear Esther. MSRP. Can you look at that? MSRP for video games? $10. Yeah, for the Landmark edition. I guess we'll... Okay. There we go. Check my Steam receipt. Hell yeah. I go through my usual topics after I finish a game. Gameplay, always, first. There's not much you can say. You walk around and you look at stuff. That's it. That's what you pay for. So if you enjoy that, then hell yeah, you got it. So it does that very well. I personally like walking simulators. I think it's a nice change of pace, quite literally, from most games I play. Most video games are more action focused. And most of the games I enjoy playing are action focused. So this is nice. You just relax, walk around, chill with the chat. Although it might have been a little bit too early, as not many people were here during this hour. But still, I like it. Visually, it looks amazing for its time, if it is 2012. This Unity version, if I understood that correctly, may have made the game look even better with some of the reflections and such. I'm having a hard time thinking the game could look like that in 2012, but you know, for an indie title, this is not a AAA made game. Not many people made it. It was source, like mod and everything. Let's see if I can find a quick video of the original game. Esther, 2012. PC 7 years ago. There we go, 10 years ago. Official trailer. Can we pause that? Can we go into display capture? Yes, we can.
Birds were sickly, and their shepherds the
So
lowest
this
of
must
the
be
miserable
PC.
classes that populate these Hebridean islands.
Yeah, the text is different.
300 years later, even they have departed.
Okay, let's see the last point. Yeah, this area right here.
Headlights reflected in these retinas.
No, a little bit further back.
Now you've settled on the
This is not 1080p, good sir.
You can see
This is some
what traces
upscaled
of the
shit.
ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become
is it
waterlogged
PC?
and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this
Wait, what?
airplane leaves the cliff edge
450
and casts
FPS
parallel vapor
blended?
trails in the dark, we will come together.
Max quality, no crap? What? Who made this video? 450 FPS in 2012 blended to 30? To 30? Okay. Good on you. Please don't ever make more videos. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's more or less the same. Let's check out the purple hallway. Or valley.
Retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Yeah. I would say that. Visually, it's good for an indie title 10 years ago. What else? What else can we say? The story... I kind of have to listen to it one more time. I got very distracted in the beginning when we were talking technical stuff. My brain was mostly in that part. So I'll have to re-listen to it or watch some kind of analysis maybe. But oh, there goes my poster. No, but I think I hit that pretty easily, or understood that most of the visuals and the places we were walking in, like the cave, is like a symbolic place for his condition or for whatever they went through. Yeah, I'm sad. It'll be fine. Music was good. Yeah. It wasn't blasting constantly. And the sound, that was good. That was very, very good, honestly. That's a game that really works with the headphones. Maybe the game has support for surround sound as well. I can see that being quite an experience. Performance-wise, well, on this PC version, using exclusive full screen, it ran buttery smooth. No hiccups, no nothing. I do think that the game had, I don't know, subpar seamlessness, you know what I mean? Between the loading screens. It just felt awkward sometimes. We were falling, and then we stopped immediately in one frame, and then it faded into black, and then faded out. I don't know, I feel like they could have done that better. Some of them were good, but I don't know. It didn't feel seamless. That would have made the experience better if the entire like voyage was seamless or felt seamless. But I guess it was also a limitation of the source engine. It has to load an entire map from scratch. You know, most games back then, like Portal, Half-Life 2, they had these loadings where everything just froze up. Yeah, release date 2012. Yeah, I really don't have much else to say. So, what else are we gonna do during the stream? I have a couple of other games, because I think we're gonna wait with Shantae now for a month or something. Unless people really want me to continue. Because I do have some things I want to do. I want to 100% the other games. Go back to them. Son. Let's go. And maybe beat the hard mode on Half Genie Hero. That could be a fun challenge. But let's look at the backlog. So we have Shady, Part of Me, a puzzle game from 2020. Indie platformer, atmospheric, puzzle, and casual. Let's see if I can show this. No? Hello? There you go. So this game I got now when it was on sale. It looked interesting. So that's something we could play right now. We also have The Witch's House. Where do we have that? A jump scare simulator. No, but RPG Maker, horror, pixel graphics. And it seems to be very good. 96%. So we got that during a sale as well. That could be fun. In that one? Wait, are we talking about... I'm sorry, I just went back to chat. I'm guessing you're talking about the Shady. Oh, Witch's House. Okay. Uh-huh. Great puzzles. Hmm? Okay, we can definitely play that. That looks to be in 4x3. Isn't it? Oh yeah, that's definitely 4x3. Good. Then we can use that scene. And what else? We have... yeah, I was gonna go through the Castlevania series. There are so many Castlevania games I've never played, and it would be fun to play through all of them on stream, starting with the very first one. With the Anniversary Collection, that seems to be a good start. But I'm also playing through all of the Sonic games, but I think we've had enough Sonic for some time, until we reach the next follower goal. That's the hidden reward. Once we reach that goal, we're gonna play more Sonic 06 and finish that up. And then we have Alice Madness Returns, which I've prepared. So that runs at 120 FPS, exclusive full screen and everything on Steam. We have Devotion, but I did promise Sona Ranger, who was here, that I'll play that during the weekend when she can watch. So maybe this weekend we'll play Devotion. And continuing on this list, we have Death Smiles. One I've already played a whole lot, but I've never played Death Smiles 2, and that's a bullet hell game. The second game seems to be Christmas themed, Winter Wonderland themed, so I'm planning to play that in December. And then Omori on its second anniversary, and then Shantae to end the year. Maybe Quackers. Donald Duck. Maybe Baldi's Basics, that could be fun too. That's a game that could happen at any time, like right now. Hello, Amend. Welcome. We just finished up Dear Esther. Took an hour. Great selection. You've played all of these games? Hell yeah. If Aceback was here, I would love to play Baldi's Basics. I have cosplayed him, and I think you can still find my cosplay if you Google on, you know, Baldi's Basics cosplay, and my image is like one of the first results. That's kind of funny. Oh, speaking of Zelda music, we have Zelda Minish Cap, a Zelda game I've never played. I have it on the Wii U, but I'll play it on GBA emulator for quality reasons. And then we have Last Day of June. That's also a game I want to play because my favorite artist, Steven Wilson, made the music, and the game is based on one of his songs called Drive Home, which I really like. So I kind of feel like playing Last Day of June. We'll have to see here. Maybe we can do another one-off, because we have roughly 3.5 hours left of the stream before I need to go. So let's see, Last Day of June. I normally don't want to know how long a game is. Oh, that game is 3 hours long. Let's fucking go. It should be on Amazon Games. Do I need to turn off my VPN? It gets so angry otherwise. Yep. I have. It shouldn't be a problem, right? Nah. OBS isn't running through VPN anyway. Oh, hell yeah. There it is. Hopefully it just works out of the box. I don't need to do any fixing. But this is a puzzle role-playing adventure RPG released in 2017. Developed by Ovosonico. Published by 505 Games. I can definitely see that, Doman. Or I understand it, I mean. I love the way Alice is portrayed in that game. I respect. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. I will change the stream title and everything to Last Day of June. Did you play this game too, Dovan? Music by Steven. Wait, did Steven Wilson make the music for the entire game? I think he did. Based on Drive Home by Steven Wilson. Thank you, Champy. Last Day of June. I guess I need to do a new recording for YouTube. Mr. Hydrate guy. Oh yeah, he's been coming in big with the hydrates. But yeah, I'll end the YouTube recording here for Dear Esther, I don't know. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.